This is Eye of the Storm, a St. John's video series presented by NOBULL. So after the William & Mary game, where St. John's had a pretty good second half there, what part of the team's performance do you think that he's still most fixated on them cleaning up? What do you think that he's looking at and saying, hey, they need more work here?
Rebounding still. I say defense. I mean, first half they did not play well. You know, they're up 5. You know, a team they were favored to beat by 29, and the second half was terrific. You know, they 54-26. They played how you thought they would play, but that first half they didn't have the energy, they didn't have the urgency, they weren't sharp. And the second half was like a different team. You know, they really defended. They got William & Mary's not a bad mid-major. They're picked 4th in the CAA. They're a decent team that if you let them get comfortable and do what they do, shoot threes, back cuts, and all that, they could give you some problems. And they did for a half. I thought the second half was good. Yeah, it's a team right now. It's playing in spurts. You know, Alabama, they had some good stretches. Didn't finish the game well. I thought Quinnipiac was pretty good for the most part. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, everyone wants to happen right away. It's a new team. You know, the one thing I've written about this is people kind of are kind of romanticizing last year's team, what that team was in November and December. Last year's team didn't take off till mid-January. Yeah. It took time, and this, I think this team is further along than last year's team. I know some people might disagree, but I do. I mean, I think this team is definitely further along. Now they have to be because their schedule is tougher, but I think people forget, look, each of Pitino's, this is his 3rd season now. Each of his 3 seasons, he's had very different rosters every year. It takes time. Alabama had 4 of their 5 stars were guys who were back. Iowa State next week, their 3 best players are all returning players. Yes, a lot of teams are dealing with crazy upheaval, but there are teams that have a lot of back, and St. John's really only has 1 key guy back at Ejiofor. So it's probably not going to happen as fast as people want. That doesn't mean this team cannot still win big games, and I think they need to, to me, it's next week you want to go 2-1. Would you love 3-0? Of course. But you really want to go 2-1 and build some real momentum.
Yeah, it's a process, but fans sometimes always very impatient.